Portions of America First are brought to you by Food for the Poor.
This bill's dreadful. The only way I know how to improve it is with a shredder. It's not even a coronavirus bill. Calling this a coronavirus bill is like calling Harvey Weinstein a feminist.
Does he I need to know, does he sit in his office? Of course, that's Senator Kennedy coming up with those zingers, those one-liners, incredible. Yeah, the only thing you should do with the quote-unquote coronavirus relief bill is shred it. And it has as much to do with the coronavirus and relief as Harvey Weinstein is a feminist. God bless him. Let's talk more about the insanity happening on Capitol Hill with a man who knows it all. He is the Washington political editor for the most influential conservative website there is. It's Breitbart.com, and he's Matt Boyle. Matt, welcome back to America First.
Dr. Gorka, always a pleasure, sir. And a quick correction to Senator Kennedy there. I actually think that Harvey Weinstein is more of a feminist than this bill with the coronavirus bill. No offense to the senator, but this bill is only 9% coronavirus relief. I think you could probably maybe find like 15% or so of Harvey Weinstein that is feminist. So,
yeah, in a certain definition of feminist. Okay, let's talk about. We can talk about that in a moment. We can talk about Capitol Hill. I don't think have we spoken since Sunday. I don't think we have we?
I don't think we have. No, it's been a wild week, huh?
It has been. It feels like it was weeks ago. Less than 7 weeks after leaving office, President Trump has given his first public address at CPAC. And I have to ask you, as a man who follows these issues so very, very closely, I made notes as I was listening, and he touched on so many different things, from election integrity to transgenderism to the candidates we have to pick for the next election. It was chock-a-block. He stayed on message. What was the most significant thing about that speech for you, or the most significant thing that President Trump said, Matt Boyle?
Yeah, look, I'd also point to what he said about immigration. I think that's the biggest issue right now facing America, with Joe Biden letting in migrants without testing them for coronavirus. Remember we talked about this before? Well, guess what? Now they're all testing positive for coronavirus. Joe Biden's border crisis is a super spreader event. He's making the pandemic worse with his open borders policies. President Trump was on point about this in his speech. But also, just broadly speaking, I think that President Trump really kind of people have been down since the election. They've been down since January 6th. And the Georgia runoffs the day before, when the Republicans lost the majority in the Senate. They've been kind of looking for a pathway forward. This was the general of a movement coming out and giving his troops the marching orders, right?
Media Matters is going to love that. They're going to love that, Matt Boyle. Are you watching, guys? Are you typing?
I hope they're listening, so maybe they'll learn something. But look, I think that President Trump gave the movement marching orders in this address. Look, here's the thing: don't get down. We are where we are. We live in the real world. We understand the Democrats have the White House, they've got the House, they've got the Senate. But guess what? You can stop them. You can fight them by holding them accountable on the agenda that they're pushing for the election integrity items out there that state houses across the country are taking up right now, and by eliminating and taking out these establishment Republicans. Beat them in primaries. He named names in that speech. He listed out the 7 Senate Republicans who voted to convict him on the impeachment charges, that 10 House Republicans voted for, and he listed them out too. So we've got clear direction now on the issues and on the politics, et cetera. We have unity of purpose as a movement and as a party moving forward, with a couple of exceptions out there. And now we take the fight to the left. This is we have to remember who the real enemy here is. The real enemy is the institutional left. It is the Democrat Party. These are the people that are putting in place policies that are creating super spreader coronavirus events at the border by unleashing migrants into this country by the thousands that are taking jobs and economic opportunities while spreading the virus away from American workers. It is Joe Biden and his policies that are the focus of the party and the movement moving forward. And we have to really prosecute the case against him, hold him accountable. It was also a very brutal speech for a former president. I've never seen a former president do this to a current president, especially this soon after the inauguration. So
no, that's right. No, that's never happened. And I'm so glad you made that point. While Mississippi and Texas are being attacked for their new decisions to rescind the mask mandate, nobody has issues with the super spreader phenomena that the Biden administration is creating on our borders. We're talking to Matt Boyle, Washington political editor for Breitbart.com. I'm Sebastian Gorka. This is America First. Back with Matt in a moment. Sadly, we're living under a Biden-Harris administration. What does it mean for your finances? More debt? More regulation, more money printing, less growth, and higher taxes. The importance of owning physical gold and silver has never been greater. Call the veteran-owned Midas Gold Group today to get their guide to owning bullion and coins. Call 480-360-3000 or go to MidasGoldGroup.com.
On the side of the U.S. Constitution, America First.
How often do you think about gratitude? The role of gratitude in your life and how your faith connects to the question of gratitude. We have an incredible piece of audio from a friend of ours who's doing some work for Food for the Poor. Her name is Linda, and she's talking about gratitude to all of you who are helping the most unfortunate in the world today. Play cuts.
We could never, ever do it without Food for the Poor and their donors. And we pray for you every day. And I know that person up in the mountain that got that 5 pounds of rice or 5 pounds of beans, they'll be praying. They'll be praying and blessing you for the rest of their lives.
They'll be praying for you and blessing you for the rest of their lives. Why? Because in countries such as Honduras, in the rural areas of that benighted country, 48% of the children are malnourished. Half of the children do not have enough to eat. You can change that. And it's so easy. Food for the Poor has the food. They have the donations. They just have to physically get it to those children. And it's so cheap. If you donate $37, you're feeding a child in need for 6 months. If you donate once, just once, $185, you are feeding 5 children for 6 months. Will you make a difference today? No child anywhere should suffer. Please go to our website, sebgorka.com, and click on the Feed Give Life, Give Food banner. That's SEBGORKA, sebgorka.com, and the Give Food, Give Life banner, or call them right now on 855-330-4673. That number again, 855-330-4673, or just go to my website, sebgorka.com. Save a life today. Be a modern missionary. Thank you, all of you who've already done so, and all of you who will do so. We are back with the Washington political editor for Breitbart.com, Matt Boyle. Matt, this disastrous bill, hundreds of pages, federalization of elections across America, H.R. 1, it's been voted on party lines. Will the Democrats have the votes to push it through the Senate, Matt?
Absolutely not. With the filibuster in place, the Democrats would need to flip 10 Republicans. There's 0 Republicans that will vote for this bill. So H.R. 1 is a pipe dream. But it is an important bill to discuss because understanding what the Democrats intend to do with our elections and controlling them in Washington, D.C., and eliminating state control of elections, if they ever got to that stage where they got rid of the filibuster and or had a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate. This is a very dangerous piece of legislation, so people need to understand what's in it. We've done a number of stories on it on Breitbart. I highly recommend people go read them and listen to the experts on the Republican side talking about this. But no, the bill doesn't stand a chance in the Senate, but it is a statement of purpose by Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, Chuck Schumer, and the Democrat radicals as to exactly what they intend to do if they get the power that they need to be able to pull something like that off.
Yeah, a very important point. It is a clear indication of the direction they want to take this country in. Let's talk about the White House. Let's talk about, we haven't played the audio yet, but the President of the United States insulting all the people of Texas, saying that the decision to remove the mask mandate is Neanderthal, calling Texans Stone Age imbeciles. Talk to us about why the actions taken by individual states on this issue is so very, very positive, Matt.
Yeah, look, Governor Abbott in Texas, Governor Reeves in Mississippi deserve tremendous praise for recognizing what Florida and South Dakota and other states around the country have already shown us, which is that these mask mandates are ridiculous and ineffective. They don't work. They don't solve the problem. That lockdowns are ridiculous and ineffective, do not solve the problem. Capacity limits on restaurants and businesses do not work. They do not solve the problem. What does work is social distancing and personal responsibility in fighting the virus. And guess what? The vaccines that President Trump gave us through Operation Warp Speed. So those are the things that work. And therapeutics that, again, that President Trump gave us through Operation Warp Speed. So Biden implementing the Trump vaccine plan, good for them. But the mask mandates, the restrictions aren't working out there across the country. As for Biden calling people Neanderthal thinking, this is a huge mistake on Joe Biden's part. I think it's bigger than Hillary Clinton calling people deplorables, because Hillary Clinton was not the president, and by the way, will never be the president. But Joe Biden is currently the commander-in-chief of these United States. He is the president of the United States. And for him to go out there and insult all the people who didn't vote for him and calling them Neanderthals, in other words, calling them subhuman and primitive, is one of the most disgusting attacks by a political leader ever in the history of this country. What happened to unity? Remember they said they were going to talk about
Mr. Unity.
It's ridiculous. So here's the other thing, though. This also shows Texas and Mississippi doing this shows that Joe Biden has been completely defenestrated. He does not have the authority that a commander-in-chief should wield, especially in his first 100 days. Remember, he's been out there saying, wear masks for 100 days. Well, a whole bunch of states are flipping Joe Biden the bird and saying, guess what? No, we're not going to do that. But the conservative grassroots, people who believe in individual freedom and responsibility, need to put pressure on their governors in a number of these other red states across the country. One state that comes to mind is Alabama. Kay Ivey, the governor of Alabama, was going to lift the mask mandate in Alabama, but then under pressure from Joe Biden and Democrats, she caved today and extended it to April 9th. She says she won't extend it beyond that, and that will still be within the 100-day mark, so it will still be sooner than Biden wants people to lift these mandates. But the Republican governors across the country, if Alabama won't stand with the American people and the great people of Texas and Mississippi and Florida and South Dakota, then we got a problem. The establishment Republicans need to be held to account. Governor Ivey really, really hurt the people of Alabama with her decision today by siding with Joe Biden and these leftist loser Democrats in Washington. And so the question really becomes, when are we going to start seeing some real leadership from these governors in the states? People need to look to their governors, and they need to put pressure on their governors to step up and do something.
Let's build
DeSantis and Nome, and hopefully we'll see more from some of these other governors around.
Let's roll that snowball down the hill. 2 is a good start, especially when one of them is Texas, but you're absolutely right. God bless this nation as a republic of states, and let's see the states lead the way to liberate our nation. In the meantime, follow this man at Breitbart.com. Bookmark that page every single day. Check it regularly. The most influential conservative website in the known universe. I'm Sebastian Gorka. Your call's next on 833-33-GORKA. That's 833-334-6752. Coming to you from the ReliefFactor.com studio.